These are the last moments of Tamir Rice's life. A woman calling the police says twice she thinks the gun he's carrying is fake. It was a pellet gun. Then she's asked,
"What does he look like?"
He has a camouflage hat on.
Is he black or white?
He has a gray coat with black sleeves and gray pants on.
Is he black or white?
I'm sorry.
Is he black or white?
He's black.
Then the police arrived. Officers say they ordered Tamir 3 times to put his hands up before shooting. The police say they were just doing their job.
We've got 2 officers that were out there protecting the public that just had to, do something that nobody wants to do.
Tamir's death has added new fuel to the anger many in the US are feeling over the treatment of African Americans by the authorities.
How you doing out there, MLK Boston 2021? Yeah, this is how we do. Mass action, y'all, mass action. How you gonna act when they don't know how to act? How you gonna act? How you gonna act? How you gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. How you gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. How we gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. How we gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. How we gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. How we gonna act when they don't know how to act, y'all? Mass action, mass action. How we gonna act when they don't know how to act? Mass action, mass action. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You better prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You better prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You better prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You better prosecute the police.
Greetings. Welcome back to the Mass Action Podcast. Today we have a special episode. With us today we have the mother of Tamir Rice, Samaria Rice, who's here, ready to give us an interview. The footage that you just saw was from the MLK Day March for Justice in Boston, organized by Mass Action Against Police Brutality, who also sponsors this podcast. It's a very successful march coming off the wake of the Capitol riot on January 6th. A lot of people were scared to take the streets. One other organization actually called the demonstration, and they were not comfortable enough to march. They didn't feel they could keep their actions safe. Mass Action, we didn't have that problem. We were very organized and prepared for contingencies, and we organized a peaceful march right in the heart of the Black community, standing up for justice, to denounce the righteous riot in D.C., to demand real justice from the government. Started first and foremost with the man of killing cops be put in jail, and that all past cases of police brutality be reopened. Wanted to thank all the people that came out, the unions, bus drivers union, formerly incarcerated like Darrell Jones, a number of the mothers whose loved ones have been brutalized or taken by the police, came out and spoke. Christopher Divins, Ramsey White, Ross Batista, all represented. And now, without further ado, we want to get into our topic today. what you're going to see is 2 interviews, actually. We recorded an interview in November 20th, and we weren't able to finish it. Since then, things have happened, and we're coming back for an update. Some developments have happened in the case, which we'll talk about, like the decision by the outgoing Department of Justice to not seek to pursue federal charges against the officers that killed Tamir Rice. So thanks for joining. Stick around. We're going to now show this video and take some live interview with Samaria after that, and hopefully some questions from the live audience. So once again, you reached a real movement podcast. It's by, for, and of the movement. Nowhere else on the internet are you going to get this kind of information, or you can get it in the mass media. So spread the word, and tune in and enjoy this podcast. This special edition of the Mass Action Podcast. Here with us today is Samaria Rice, mother of Tamir Rice. Her son was killed by Cleveland police in one of the most well-known police brutality cases in the country and maybe even the world. And
That's right.
We just wanted to thank you for sharing some of your time with us today for our listeners to get clarity on, what's going on, how you've been doing since this horrific event, and where things stand in your quest for justice right now. I know there's a whole new wave of especially young people who've been taken to the streets in the last 5 months or so. Some may not even be totally familiar with what happened to Tamir because, they're just so brand new. So just wanted to quickly run down some of the basic facts of the case, and then you can kind of update us. But
Okay.
So basically, I guess maybe you could tell the story then. But basically, your son was killed almost 6 years ago by 2 Cleveland police officers, right? They got a call from the 911 dispatch from somebody who called who, claimed they saw someone with a gun. But the person who called also said that it probably was a toy gun and probably a juvenile. And your son was 12 years old at the time. And apparently that information wasn't necessarily passed on, according to the police account, to the police who responded to the call. But in any case, the whole incident was caught on a video, which kind of adds to the outrage. And within a matter of seconds of arriving, Officer Timothy Loehmann discharged his firearm, and which ended up killing his son Tamir. Now they claim they said they issued some commands, but literally within a couple seconds they were firing their gun as soon as they arrived on the scene.
Yep. That's correct.
So I don't know if there's a
movement. Try to get in a better
That's all right. Is there any kind of other aspects of that incident that you wanted to share that are lesser known about the story?
No, that's about right. People need to know that it was a man drinking a beer in the park that made the 911 call. Apparently that day it was multiple 911 calls coming in that I was not aware about, but actually the man 911 call, he was drinking a beer under the gazebo while my son was playing at the park among other children. They had just went in the building to get water and used the restroom, but Tamir was left alone out there to continue playing or whatever. So he was not menacing. You know, he was actually very friendly. People were talking to him as he was playing. They were walking back and forth from the rapid station, going inside of the park area. So he was just a black boy playing in the park. And we live in an open carry state. So I just don't understand why I'm here now. So
right.
Yeah, so that's some things that people may not know, and I wanted to share it with people. Yeah, but right now where we at, we're closing, or we're coming to an end in a federal investigation where the
Well, hey, before you get into that, Samaria, just let me
okay, go ahead.
run by a little bit more of the history of the case. So, well, a couple other things that happened is the officers, you can see on the tape, they didn't tend to Tamir once they shot him. No immediate medical attention. And then also when Tamir's sister came out, who was in, playing at the recreational facility at the same time, respond,
yep,
they locked her up and put her in the back of the police car. And apparently, from what I've gathered, they threatened you as well when you came to the scene, trying to get answers to arrest you as well. Now, further on, this case was under the jurisdiction of the prosecutor at the time, Timothy McGinty. They did convene a grand jury, but the grand jury decided not to indict the officers. Right, and just in terms of what happened to any of the other people involved. Oh, go ahead.
Well, the grand jury did not indict the officers because Tim McGinty, which was the prosecutor, he had tainted my case. He did not advocate for Tamir and my family like he said he would. So in these type of procedures, the prosecutor is supposed to advocate for the family, and that never happens. They actually work on the side with the police to protect the police and sit there and tell you lies to your face, say that they're going to do everything they can. Tim McGinty did not present the case correctly. He, he sabotaged my case, if you will. So that's why I have not received justice, and I'm sure others across the country, because when it comes to the prosecutor or the DA, they do not work on the side of the family like they say they do.
Right. So basically, you didn't receive any charges, any criminal charges towards these officers, and then so currently, a couple other aspects. One of the officers was eventually fired from the department, correct? But it had nothing to do with, they said, what happened with Tamir.
No, it had nothing to do with the murder of Tamir. It had to do with him lying on his application.
And that was Timothy Loehmann, right?
Timothy Loehmann, yes. And Frank Granback is the driver, which was a FOT trainer. He was suspended originally for 10 days. Then they went back and gave him 5 days. And he's still working in the Cleveland streets till this day.
And I heard that at least one department tried to hire Timothy Loehmann in another city, correct?
Yeah, in Bel Air, Ohio. Yeah, and I got word of it. The team I was working with at the time worked very diligently to get a letter out, and we flooded the office in Bel Air, Ohio with letters, phone calls, and things like that. And then they came back. Oh, before that, my attorney got on the phone with their chief of police. Also put them on the phone with the chief of police out of Independence, Ohio, where Timothy Loehmann came from, to let them know that they were making a big mistake. A couple of days later, we got a word that he rescinded his application.
Okay.
So
That
it
was
just depends
good.
on how fast and quickly you can work. I had people calling from all over the country. The letter went viral.
That's good. So as far as whatever happened with the dispatcher or the person that called 911, that's kind of nothing really ended up happening to them, or do you have an update there?
Nope, I don't even know who the man was. I just know he was drinking a beer in the park. They're not going to give me his information. I don't even know if that man is still alive.
Right. Now you eventually, the city did offer, so you came to some kind of settlement on a civil suit with the city, and
Yeah.
but still have got no justice for your son. You've been pursuing also some kind of justice through civil rights charges, correct? And that's kind of where some of the things you're dealing with right now.
On a federal level, yes. As a lot of these cases get to the federal level, we expect some type of federal indictment. But in my situation, it won't be no federal indictment. Sorry, it won't be no federal indictment.
And why is that?
Well, they believe up at that administration, which you have the career counsel, prosecutors, and attorneys that believe that it's probable cause to revene. Am I saying it right? Revene grand jury, but Jeff Sessions convene. Thank you, convene a grand jury, but Jeff Sessions and William Barr will not allow it. So they quietly sat on it after having requests and memos sent up to their office. They ignored it, basically for the statute of limitations to run out on the federal level. Yep.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah. So with all of that, with all of that being done, you know, they allowed that those federal charges to kind of just linger on without answering the memo, the request to say, hey, their own administration feel this probable cause to convene a grand jury on a federal level, and they're still not responding. And that comes from the higher people up, William Barr and Jeff Sessions. That's what I was told, and that's what I truly believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that my case should have went on a federal level with a federal indictment, but you know, we live in this country, so this is what I'm left with.
Now, I read where you're also trying to pursue civil rights charges on the state level, and that those are kind of coming to a statute of limitations. Is that also correct?
Yeah, for obstruction of justice on a state level, and it's a 6-year statute of limitations on that. Mm-hmm. So I have another year to try to get any type of indictment on a state level. But I do have my attorneys working to see if we can, if there is a such thing as an extension because of the COVID crisis and things like that. I got a couple phone calls today just to see how we can exhaust every option that we have. Also getting the records from the federal department to be given to the prosecutor in Cleveland, Ohio, to see if he will pursue charges or to
reopen the case.
To reopen the case, yeah, right. on a state level,
right?
To pursue charges of obstruction of justice. Between him and the new attorney general, which is Dave Yost, I'm waiting to hear something from either one of them. I reached out to them, my attorneys reached out to them, and I still have not heard nothing from either one of them. So, you know, it's just sad. It's really sad.
So it's fair to say, like, one of the main things you're still pursuing is criminal charges for the police that killed your son.
Say that again.
Like, one of the main things that you're still fighting for today is for criminal charges on the police who killed your son.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I will always pursue criminal charges on a federal level, state level, whatever we can get, you know. They ought to be charged, indicted, and convicted.
Right. Definitely agree on that. I just wanted to, I guess, ask you a few questions about oh, did I lose you? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Just I guess, the questions of the kind of support you've been receiving in this fight over the years and some of the challenges you faced. I know you mentioned, I guess since you mentioned the DOJ, let's talk about the DOJ. I know that William Barr and Jeff Sessions haven't been too helpful in your case, but I mean, this happened under the Obama administration when you had Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch also as Attorney General. I was wondering, what kind of help you received from them when they were holding the office.
I haven't received any type of help from them. I haven't even talked to them. They haven't reached out to me, and they should feel shame of themselves. That's all I have to say. I would have thought that Loretta Lynch would have reached out to me, and what's his name? The Attorney General at the time, Eric Holder.
Yeah.
I would have thought that either one of them would have reached out to me because my son was Black, for number one, and my son was assassinated by law enforcement. I would have thought that one of them would have reached out to me. And if they didn't, shame on them, shame on their souls. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how they sleep at night to know that law enforcement is steady killing Black and brown people and babies on top of that. The country, I understand how the country is built, but when is somebody going to be the change? When is the change going to come?
Yeah, I think it's important. Oh, go ahead.
I would just say Loretta Lynch should have reached out to me. If she's a mom with a Black son, she should have reached out to me, or with a Black daughter, should have reached out to me. I was expecting Obama to reach out to me. He didn't reach out to me either. Those type of people are shameful and pitiful to me in my eyes. I don't look at them no different. And that's just that. I give respect when it's due. I will, like everybody else, will be like, oh, hey, Obama. I'll probably walk past him, walk straight past him, because at the end of the day, all of these Black and brown people got murdered under your watch and you didn't do anything. So I have no type of respect for a man like that. I don't care if he was the president, the first Black president of the United States, or whatever they say. From my understanding, they want to say he was the first Black president, but I understand we have Black presidents before him. So it's all good. Shame on them people. I don't know how they sleep at night.
Yeah, I think that's an important facts to point out, because, a lot of people, especially now, want to point the finger at Trump being, the source of all evil. But, the fact is, we've been fighting this fight way before Trump and haven't seen much progress. It didn't seem like whoever was in office. So one of the things we've been pointing to is, the fact that there's a mass movement is really what's making a difference. But even with the mass movement, there's challenges and problems with lack of clarity, lack of leadership, or misleadership. And I wondered if you could speak on that. What kind of support have you been getting from the movement, and what kind of challenges do you see there in terms of different groups, or what's being called for, or whatever, or tactics or anything like that? Would you be willing to speak on that?
1 second.
Okay.
Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I was saying that, you know, a lot of people are pointing to Trump as the source of all problems, the source of all evil, but we've been fighting this fight since before Trump even, you know, said he was going to run
Yeah,
for office. So,
absolutely.
so we
Yeah.
wanted to, yeah, just point that out and kind of things that you've had to face. And but one of the bright spots has been the fact that, you know, there's been a mass movement now around this issue, which there hadn't been before. But even that, you know, has its own problems in terms of the lack of clarity, lack of leadership, or even misleadership. And I'm wondering if you experienced any of that in your fight. How's the movement supported you, or like been an obstacle? If there's anything you want to speak on regarding that.
Yeah. Mhm. So the movement has supported me pretty good for the most part. I haven't really had a chance to deal with any of those type of them politics. Hold on one second. Them politics on that type of level, because I am clear that that is white supremacy. So I'm clear about it. So I haven't had a chance to deal with it, but I have been getting a lot of support from um, the movement itself and my community, the community and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, let me ask. I mean, and you don't have to take these questions, but I know, you know, there's been a problem that we've seen where, you know, a lot of families, tragedies have kind of been exploited by different groups, individuals, for personal ends or political ends. And just wanted to see if you know, you experienced any of that. I know, for instance, during the 2016 campaign for president, Hillary Clinton was trying to really kind of at least cozy up to the movement, as if she supported it, even though, you know, years ago she was calling black people predators. But she kind of put together something called Mothers of the Movement, where she tried to recruit different families to
Yeah, I
kind of
wasn't a part
basically
of that.
campaign for the party, for the Democratic Party. And I was on.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of that. They wanted me to probably can't see me, but they wanted me to be a part of it. But I was not in agreeing to be a part of it because I wanted an indictment for my son, so I did not agree to be a part of that campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of it. So, but the other mothers were, and that was okay. I didn't feel a need to support that type of situation at the time.
So you felt as though Hillary Clinton wasn't doing enough around the question of police brutality. Is that what you're saying, or that the Democratic Party wasn't really doing enough, and so you didn't want to back it? What you were saying?
You said Clinton didn't do enough?
Well, Hillary was running for president at the time, so.
No, they didn't do anything. I mean,
Right.
the only thing they were trying to do was get the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
The black vote. That's about it.
Right.
They didn't do anything. They didn't help anybody. So
And oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know I didn't know what the purpose of me following Hillary around when I'm trying to fight for my son. So I didn't feel a need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I didn't feel it. Yeah.
You want me to hold on? I can wait. You get time.
Say that again.
You want me to hold on? Were you in the middle of something?
No. I was
Oh, okay.
just no. But like I said, I didn't feel a need to have to run behind no white lady when I was trying to get justice for my son when she was capable of calling Obama to get an indictment for my son. So no. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. And like I said, the other mothers was a part of it, and that was fine. But I was never a part of that campaign or anything.
Yeah, I mean that's what we try to point out with mass action. I mean this is a bipartisan attack. You know, neither party has a better record. It's happening in red states and blue states. A lot of people don't realize, you know, the governor who sent the National Guard on the protesters in Ferguson, he was a Democrat. The mayor of Ferguson was a Democrat. You know, Robert McCullough, the prosecutor, was a Democrat. So the idea that the Democratic Party is better off, yeah, that's true. Those are facts. Yeah, Democratic.
I don't remember their name though.
Yeah. Jay Nixon was the governor of Missouri at the time. And then I forget the mayor's name actually, but Robert McCullough was the DA. All Democrats. Now, one other aspect is, you know, this movement kind of came to be known in the media as the Black Lives Matter movement, and you know, that group, especially some individuals associated with that, became very well known in the wake of it, like Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, Opal Tometi. I was just wondering, Sean King even kind of made a name through the hashtag to boost his viewership. But I was wondering how you felt, whether or not these groups are leading this fight properly, or I don't know what you want to say about that.
No. Let me say this. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. They don't speak for me, and I don't know why they have created those platforms. They have not put no type of programs in the community. They have not helped out these families like they should have, and they just created platforms for themselves. But they don't speak for me, and that's the problem when you have advocates that's not working directly with the family. You know, because and they should be working directly with the family, the community, to try to put programs in the community, and that's something that I have not seen. I know quite a few of them, but I'm not impressed. I'm gonna just say that I'm not impressed with them. I'm quite disgusted a little bit because they're benefiting off of the blood of black and brown people and babies, men and women, and things like that. And the families are struggling, homeless, don't have any hope, and things like that. So I can't say with Black Lives Matter the co-founders are doing, Sean King, Tamika Mallory, and the rest of them. I can't. I don't see what they're doing. Nobody's creating policies. Nobody's creating policies or anything like that. So I don't know. It's just sad though.
All right. So, thank you, everyone. That was our first interview that we did, and we're just going to wrap up. I know it was a long interview. We got a late start, so I'm going to apologize to our audience. And Samaria, I know it's late for you. I'm going to see if you can say a few more things before we just wrap up this podcast and maybe take a question or two. But hey, how you doing, Samaria?
Hello.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming on again. And I just wanted to, we talked in November when we did this first interview, but now, it's a new year, new president, everything. But and a lot's happened in between, especially a pardon shot to your family by the Department of Justice under William Barr in the Trump administration, saying that they weren't going to pursue any charges on officers that killed Tamir. And so I just wanted to get your comment on that in terms of your thoughts and what your thoughts are going forward in the fight for justice. And I know you just had an action too on the 15th, kind of responded to that. So I don't know if you have anything to say about those things.
Well, thank you for having me. Well, one thing I wanted to do was create some noise in the city of Cleveland. And one of my sisters in the fight supported me, and my brother supported me. One of my brothers in the fight, they supported me in doing a rally for Tamir. So let me say that. And others also supported as well. But all my support usually comes from out of town when it's time to do things that I would like to do. And I can always appreciate that. So it was good. So I just responded to the DOJ and the city of Cleveland for the most part. But where we're at right now is just waiting for the key players to get in place. Couple more weeks to just get settled in, their positions at the DOJ, and make some approaches to the DOJ to see if they can reopen the case. Reopen the case. Maybe going after obstruction of justice charges on the federal level and use of force of charges on the federal level. So I encourage everybody to join the justice campaign for Tamir page that we have on Facebook, and that will give you detail what's going on in the case and things like that. So please sign up for that on Facebook. So that's where we
at. Justice for Tamir campaign on Facebook.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
We'll make sure we'll get that information to the audience.
Absolutely. Also, we're gonna, ask the prosecutor from Cuyahoga County to support us on this, as well as the Congress as well, once they figure out which one of them is going to get in. So it's a few key things that we're just doing strategy-wise. So, we're just strategizing right now and waiting on the key players to get in play, basically. Yeah.
Sounds good. And I know recently Ohio's been in the news for a couple other police brutality cases in Columbus too. So I guess any thoughts about possibility of the families of Ohio uniting in some way to get these cases prosecuted?
Well, I'm not really for sure where everybody is in their case. That's number one. Um, you know, the movement and you know, us being divided like this, you know, is very hurtful for the change that we want to see, and it's very hurtful for us not to be on one accord, and the division makes us look really, really bad. So I don't know where a lot of people is in their cases. I could probably give them some guidance and things like that. But you know, I never want to tell nobody how to fight their fight. Um, I'm just doing what God want me to do and letting Him guide me through this process.
Yeah, just well, I want to salute you. You know, we've been knowing each other now for several years. You know, unfortunately, you know,
Yeah.
for the under the wrong circumstances, but you know, you continue to inspire me, and I know many others for just never accepting what the government's trying to say, that you know that there was anything excusable about what happened. There needs to be some kind of consequences and repercussions. So we got your back. Mass Action definitely has your back, and we just wanted the world to know that, you know, just because this happened to Tamir 6 years ago, and the DA didn't want to do anything, and the last few administrations didn't want to do anything, that doesn't mean the fight is over, you know. So
right.
You're still fighting, and you need the community support, and
yes.
And we you know, we want to try to help people figure out what to do when if they want to support you. One other thing that you kind of took up, you know, in the wake of what happened to Tamir, was to start a cultural center and the Tamir Rice Foundation. I was wondering if you wanted to talk about that at all and what you're trying to do with that.
Yeah, so I do have the Tamir Rice Afro Central Culture Center, which is a commercial building I purchased in 2018, and I'm in the process of renovating the building and getting it ready for the children and the staff to be put in there. We want to be able to offer after-school programming for inner-city children, and free of charge, with multiple programs like mentoring and tutoring, civics, civic classes, Pan-African history classes, along with expression arts and some music and a few other programs that we have coming out of there. So, yeah, and you all can go to the Tamir E. Rice Foundation website. You could just Google the Tamir Rice Foundation, it'll come up. And just check out some other things that I've been doing in the community. We're in the process of getting our website more updated, but there are some things to see some of the involvement in the community that I have done over the years. You know, and Tamir, you know, building Tamir's legacy. So, and, you know, if people can contact me there, they can support me on there. So yeah, Tamir got a lot of things going on. Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for, you know, giving us your time again. And, you know, I think that, you know, it's bad enough these tragedies happen to so many families, but on top of just the pain and the insult, you know, your case is one of the cases that got a lot of attention. So to hear your story and the kind of forces that you've had to confront in the highest levels of government and in the movement in general, and to just to know that you're staying true to the fight. You're not letting anybody use Tamir's, you know, the tragedy that happened, the crimes that was committed against him for some other purpose other than the pursuit of justice. You know, I think it's important for a lot of lot of people to hear, and especially a lot of other families who are going through, you know, similar tragedies. So just want to thank you for that. And we have Tahia. Oh yeah, thank you. Tahia's on the line. I don't know, Tahia, was there any other questions from the chat before we close up?
Sure. First of all, I would like to say, hi, Samira. It's nice to see you again. And I just want to applaud you for fighting for Tamir. Just a couple of things in the chat is that Angela says that she salutes you, Miss Samaria Rice. Another one from it looks like Mass Grant. Miss Rice, thank you for sharing your experience in the fight for justice for Tamir. He was a child, and how could anyone justify this? Tony Taylor says, hashtag jail killer cops, and justice for them all.
Okay, thank you.
So I want to share that with you, absolutely.
Okay, well, all right, well, Samaria, I guess, you know, until we hook up again on one of these campaigns, we're going to be out here trying to spread the word and try to hopefully help unify these different fighting families so that we can bring all our forces to bear against a common enemy, you know, and hopefully
absolutely
root it out of existence for once and for all. So justice for Tamir.
Justice for Tamir, yep.
Jail killer cops, reopen the cases.
Yeah, we should have a update maybe somewhere, maybe in the next couple months or so. I'm looking to hear an answer on which direction that we're going to go. So I'm just waiting. You know, we have a year left on a state level for statute of limitations for 6 years on a state level. If they do not want to go forth with opening the case on a federal level, so many things played a part in that. I mean, COVID-19, you know, I know for sure a whole bunch of people did not even go to court on a federal level. So I don't know how it was a decision made quietly in Tamir's case. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole bunch of factors play in, and, you know, and I was talking to my attorney about even doing an appeal on a federal level and, you know, things like that. So there's a whole bunch of factors, but if we can't get it on a federal level, it will be all the pressure will be put on the prosecutor at that time to do the right thing. So we're just waiting. Yeah, so a year left, and we'll see, you know.
Right. Well, that's one slogan that's been coming up lately. I think it's a good one for us. But basically, you know, people want to know how long we're going to be out here, you know.
Yeah.
Answer is till we win. Till we win.
Till we win.
So we with you till we win, and yeah, don't let anybody get it twisted, you know. None of these families who've been you know, crossed the way that you have ever gonna forget this, you know, ever gonna lay down the fight. So till we win.
Yeah.
You know, let's get it, everyone. So thanks again, Samaria. We'll be in touch, and we're gonna make sure everybody gets the information that you dropped off and how they can support.
Okay. Remember to get on the Justice Campaign. Is it? I'm like, is it? I got so many pages, so I believe it's Justice Campaign for Tamir. Do you have it up there, Bach? I don't have it. I'm not looking at the correct wording, but it's on Facebook. So just everybody can get updates and sign up and get everything from there.
We can get that from you or get it off Facebook and post it for you.
Yeah, we'll put it on the video once we put it out after the live broadcast. So, but
Okay.
All right. Any last words, Samaria?
Well, I was just saying thanks for having me, and yeah, we just gotta continue to fight until until we win. You know what I'm saying? I believe when one win, we all win, and there's possibilities for anything. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that I fight my fight, and has galvanized the support over the whole country and the 7 continents, has been a blessing from God, and I'm grateful. And I can only do this through the grace of God. Just know that, I don't, I never wanted, I never thought that Tamir's name would be going so far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, I would rather have my life back than live the life that I'm living now. So I hope folks understand that, I would rather have my life back than to have to go through what I'm going through now. And I wouldn't wish this on nobody. Tamir's name is mentioned a lot, and there's nothing that I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. So I just hope that one day families will understand what we're really fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't care nothing about no fashion, no fame, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I've been truly blessed already, before my whole situation with Tamir. I lived a certain type of lifestyle. So, I'm just, I'm fighting for the people at the end of the day, and people need to understand that, and this is my calling from God, because this is not what I planned for my, if you could believe it, this is not what I planned for my life. You understand me? This was not my plan. This is what God wants me to do, and I'm gonna do it by any means necessary. It is what it is.
Samira, I just want to also tell you that there is a Lynette Fox, and she said, Ms. Rice, thank you for teaching us not to give up. I lost my son to police last March. He was 20 years old and was shot 5 times. And it was captured on video and shown on Facebook before anyone ever notified the family.
Wow.
And she said, thank you for sharing it and making sure that, she doesn't give up as well. And hashtag justice for Tamir, hashtag justice for Jesse, and hashtag jail killer cops.
Absolutely.
Lynette, thank you.
Absolutely. And what I could say to everybody, and especially the people, the activists, and the families, your job is to make it uncomfortable for them. It's not the comfortable about your loved one being killed dead, murdered. It's nothing comfortable about it. So get uncomfortable and make them uncomfortable. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I understand sometimes people need time, and I needed a lot of time too. But once I snapped up out of it, it was on and popping. It was on and popping from there. So, and you have to link up with the right people doing the right things. That's all I could say. So make it uncomfortable. Make it uncomfortable. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Samaria, and we'll be in touch for sure. We got some things to talk about.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
And do. Right on. All right. Justice for Tamir.
Justice for Tamir.
And with that, everyone, we're going to be wrapping up our Mass Action podcast this week. We really hope you stay in tune with us. We hope to do this more regularly. We are independent, 100%, 100% grassroots, 100% of the movement. We're not just sympathetic to the movement or trying to understand the movement. We are the movement, and you're not going to get this kind of information anywhere else on the internet. So stay locked on Mass Action Podcasts. We're going to try to start broadcasting on Fridays. Hopefully we can stay with it, but we will have a broadcast next Friday, and many, many more interesting interviews, insights, debates, and discussions about the state of the movement, strategies and tactics, the leadership and the misleadership of the movement. You're going to get it all here. So keep tuned, spread the word, Mass Action Podcast, And please support all these families who are fighting for justice. And with that, we're going to go out how we do Boston style. I'm going to share you a little way how we do it in Boston. Here's another scene from the MLK Boston March for Justice.
Okay. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. Please. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. Please. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Please. Prosecute the police. Please. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Hey. Prosecute the police. Hey. No justice, no peace. Yeah. Prosecute the police. Yeah. No justice, no peace. Yeah. Prosecute the police. Yeah. No justice, no peace. Yeah. Prosecute the police. What? No justice, no peace. What? Prosecute the police. What? No justice, no peace. What? Prosecute the police. What? No justice, no peace. Yeah. Prosecute the police. Please. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No trust. No justice, no peace. No fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK. 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 No fascist USA. Everybody no Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. 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 No KKK. The police. No Trump. No Trump. No KKK. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No Trump. No justice. No peace. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. Everybody no Trump. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. Everybody no Trump. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. One town, no Trump. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. Everybody no Trump. No Trump. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No Trump. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No Trump. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No Trump. No Trump.